I got in a different boat today because I got a buddy with me, an old high school buddy of mine. So we're gonna go out here. We're gonna try to get some bass primarily, but also some trout. So anyway, I'm gonna attach it to this, and hopefully, we're trying to figure out a good angle because this boat's bigger. It's not my boat. This has got walking room. This has got walking room. So let me. Look at this. Look at this. That. And then comes that. Uh-oh. You fell. All right, good. Good. Probably put you a little forward. Oh yeah. All right. Oh, that's okay. Hop on in.
How do you climb in this beast?
Just there's the front gate and the back gate.
So these are the ones you guys rent out?
Yeah. This is the smallest one. Oh, yeah.
You okay? Need help?
Nope, got it.
Okay, doke.
Always put that in.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no
And I was
problem.
like, you gotta die. She's like, you're going on a vacation, fishing guy.
Yeah, this is a vacation for you, man.
Are you kidding? How many people get the fishing guy who knows? I read your book, by the way. I know a little about this place.
Oh, you did good.
I know somebody died here, and there's
several.
A Bigfoot.
There is. There is a Bigfoot.
I like the way you describe like what fish to catch and what to use and where to go, kind of. That's
Yep.
cool. So do they sell that book or
No.
it's just so that you read it or it's in the library?
Yeah, it's just something I did. I was bored.
So do you always have a spot you go to first? Where you go?
Well, we're gonna go around the marina here, that side.
You can go to those
Hopefully,
big guys?
hopefully get to the.
The big guys?
Yeah, we're gonna go to the big guy.
Okay.
But over here is smallmouth bass.
Okay.
Smallies are fun to catch.
I read about that. They're the ones that fight a little bit.
They fight the best.
They have a little smaller, obviously have smaller.
Yep.
And how do you catch a bass? Like what's the
You'll see.
Well, show me. I have no.
Yeah.
Because you can have those assets like
Everything. I use hard baits because I like react. You can be a bait guy or you can be a reaction strike guy.
Okay.
Reaction makes the fish bite it whether they want to or not. You're building on their instinct.
Is it kind of like fly fishing?
Huh?
Is it like fly
Yes, exactly. Because with salmon, that's what I do with bass.
So you throw that out, you're throwing out and then you pull back with it, you're throwing a little jiggy probably.
Yep. So right over here.
That's where they are, right here.
Yeah. They sure are.
Right here where people swim?
Oh yeah. I'll catch them right next to them. Bass like noise.
Really?
Yeah, so the baits have rattles in them. They gravitate towards noise. In fact, basically you're just pissing them off is what you're doing. And they're just biting whatever's pissing them off.
Really?
Yeah. So grab that.
Okie dokie.
So this is what I call a swank bait. So whenever you get a new bait, you always sort of look at it and you figure out its speed. So that's this one you're just going to, and every once in a while you can do a few jerks and that'll make the rattle go and make it change directions.
Okay.
And so anyway, toss it.
Over that
between the dock and the rocks.
way? Okay.
Should be some smallies over there.
I'm gonna catch one before I even get.
Maybe. I have a new $450 rod here. I'm going to test today.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a beast of a rod.
Okay, so it's been a long time since I've fished. Give me the quick on releasing the bait.
All right.
real quick.
So
Sorry, it's been a long time.
I fish funky because
Okay.
I like thumb releases.
Okay.
But a lot of people will just hold this line right here.
Okay.
This is called a bail. So you open the bail and then release it
Okay.
with your finger.
Okay.
And then close the bail as soon as it hits the water
Okay.
because bass will hit it on the drop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so as soon as it hits the water, go ahead and reel it in.
Oh,
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. A little faster. Get the tip, put the tip down.
Oh, I see.
We get the bait to dive a little deeper with the tip down
Okay. I can see
and
it.
see how it just wiggles and it's
yeah.
rattling. So this bait is making noise right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really good bait. It's one of my favorite designs. This is a miniature version of that. This one I've got.
Wow, this is a beautiful place.
Yeah, I love this place. So we're going to, this is a very expensive rod. Most expensive I've ever owned.
That pull?
Yeah. $450 rod.
Wow.
Takes 50 people to make this one rod.
What?
Yeah. Made in Washington. About 5.5 hours north of me.
Okay, I got all day. I got to hear about this rod.
Well,
What's
it's
so special? Wow.
it's carbon fiber.
Okay.
It's 100% carbon fiber, including the grip.
And that does what for you?
Well, it's lighter
Okay.
and it's more sensitive.
Okay.
The grip is carbon fiber, so it's like holding the rod. There's no insulation between my hand and the grip. Like that's got foam,
Right.
so it insulates. You know, basically it silences the rod blink. So I should be able to throw more hits
Oh, okay.
and I'll be able to catch more fish. So they say.
All right.
We'll see. I've never bought a rod this expensive before. I mean, that rod set up right there is $100 for the reel and the. Those two red and black rods, those are hand-rolled carbon fiber rods next to you too. Made by another company in Jacksonville.
See if you're lucky.
It's all right. That's all right.
Man, fishing, well, not for a long time. This is so much fun, though. I can see why you come on early, though. Wow.
It's beautiful. You hear the birds.
Crack of dawn,
Yeah, it's
I was getting up, I was like, damn, this is early, but it's going to be nice when I get there.
yeah.
Once I get there, it's going to be, whoa. Okay, that was bad, sorry.
It's all right. Forgot the bill.
I did.
It happens.
It's like I take out newbies all the time.
I do it I do it too. Sometimes my finger closes the bail.
God damn. I'm gonna look that up. There we go, Chucky. Wrong
There
direction,
you
wrong-
go.
Wrong direction.
It's all right. They're all here.
So you keep your tip down to keep it in all.
Yeah, it makes the bait dive deeper. If I wanted the bait to dive less, I'd lift the tip up.
Okay.
So
I notice that I can see it out there kind of coming on the top of the water. Is that where you want it?
yeah, it's a shallow dive.
Okay.
It's a shallow dive bait. This only goes about 3 feet down.
So these fish they're down there, they're looking up.
Well, it's only about 7, 8 feet here. So we're fishing the top third of the water column.
Okay.
And if they're there, they'll hit it. But the water's cooling down. So bass strikes are getting, yeah, they are. So we may, I've got lots of different hard baits, so round bills will go about 9 feet down and square bills. This is a type of square. I love this place.
We went yesterday to, we took your advice and went to the Rocky Point
Oh, yeah.
and rented a canoe. It was really fun. Thank you so much.
Good.
Oh, it's so peaceful. Talk about peaceful.
Yeah.
We were the only ones out there because when we got there about 10 and people were getting out.
Yep.
And so we got there at 10 and we rode from 10 to 12. And There was no, I mean, a couple kayakers and one boat fishing. But that's it. So nice. So thanks for that advice. And I really wanted to go canoeing. I'm gonna try one more spot this week sometime. Oh, I'm getting a little better. Good. There we go.
Oh, usually you get a hit by now. Believe it or not.
You got anything?
Nope. Not even a bite. So we are going to troll across Rainbow Bay here. And so pull that in, and we're going to switch your rod up. We're going to put you on this rod now. And we're going to troll. Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
It's a fishing.
Pull some of this out and hook it on that hook keeper down below. There's one right here.
Oh.
And this right here, this is what we call a chatterbait, and it's all white.
Get my finger out of the hook.
Yeah, I know how to pull out hooks, so don't worry. I do. I hook myself all the time. So we're gonna.
We don't do it like my dad used to.
Oh, well, there is a trick. There's a trick to it.
My dad used to take a pocket knife and cut your skin. That's how.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's how my dad did it. Stand up and
I'll have a seat.
We're gonna move this a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna go across.
Here every day, Michael?
Monday, Wednesdays usually. That's one of my fishing days. So, I mean, last Wednesday I wasn't because Kathy and the kids wanted to go rock climb wall, and so Kathy's never wanted to do anything athletic in her life. So, I mean, she never has. She's not an athletic person. You know, we've been married forever, but the thing is, she likes where I go for my activities. So if I went surfing, she liked the beach. If I went snowboarding, she liked the lodge. You know, and it's just the way it is. So I stopped. I had a custom-made surfboard, and he would have loved it. It's a longboard 9.2, and had my name under the glass. I sent him a picture of my '69 Charger. I said I want it to look just like my Charger. So he painted it to look exactly like my Charger. And so whenever I showed my Charger at car shows, the board was always right next to it. It was pretty cool. Oh yeah.
Must have.
Oh, I sure did. Huh?
Put all that work in?
Oh, always. So toss it out there. Just toss it out there, and, you know, to your left. There you go. Let the spool out a little bit. You let it spool out a bit, and then. All right, go ahead and close the bail. We're just going to troll, and we'll catch a bass or two on the way over to the next spot. What we'll do. I'll toss mine.
Monday, Wednesday, drop this.
This is it. So we just. So the resort, you know, they're really good meat, and I do a lot of stuff for them too still.
Yeah.
So they, for them to, you know, let me have a boat for the day. I asked you yesterday, I said, you mind if I grab the bubble duck for the day? They go, nah, go ahead.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so, yeah, they're.
Well, you obviously, you're personality obviously helps them.
Yeah,
No,
it does,
I mean,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean that in a very nice way. I mean, your personality, just being here at the car show,
Yeah.
talking to people, and they know you work here, and you know you're
Kids hug me and they're just all excited, yeah.
So,
No, everybody, yeah. I mean, I'm a lot like my mom. You know, Ma was never met a stranger, real charismatic, and that's what that's what I do. And you know, if there's one thing that I can say proudly, is, I got Mom's personality, and Mom was, she was awesome. Yeah, we miss our parents. Well, at least I miss one of them. The other one, he can. I didn't put him in the closet. Mom's in the closet. Yeah, I don't know what Fi did with Dad. Probably put him in a grave. I don't know. Yeah, he was horrible. He was even horrible to Fi and Tony. His wife and my half brother. And Tony looks like a sumo wrestler. His name's James Anthony Rufino Jr. We call him Tony, but he's his mom's Thai. When my dad lived in Bangkok, he remarried, and Rufino, and he looks like a sumo wrestler. Big kid, actually big man nowadays. But I was in his wedding.
Really?
Yeah, and
how old are you?
Huh?
How old were you?
When I was in Tony's wedding,
Yeah.
I was married, and Liz and Becca was probably 3.
Okay.
2 or 3 years old. Becca was. So it's been 20 years since he's been married, and he his bridesmaids would come up. You could tell Nick and Tony were brothers, even though they don't look alike. They acted alike. They're the same frame. I was like skinnier, and it's just and the bridesmaids come up and say, "How do you know Tony?" I says, "Well, I'm his big brother." You're what? I go, yeah. I go, we're brothers from another mother. I go, well, we are. Yeah. And then and Becca was like 2 or 3. She was so cute. And he got married down in L.A.
Oh, wow.
Nice girl. Her dad was a car guy, so he and I got along really good. So he was like,
Oh, nice.
yeah. It was a nice day. I mean,
Your father-in-law was there. I mean, your dad was there.
well, my dad wasn't. He was dead.
Was your father?
Dad died 30 years ago. So,
Wow.
yeah, no, he, that was good. Dad's mistress showed up at the hospital while he was dying, and that's just classless.
What?
So, my dad was a womanizer. He didn't treat any woman well. My cousin gave me a bunch of his stuff recently, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago, actually. We moved up and stopped by and saw my cousin Ronnie. And his mom and my dad were brother sister.
Okay.
And so he had a bunch of dad stuff.
Yeah.
He goes, "What?" He goes, "Mike, just give it all to you." I said, "All right, great."
Yeah.
And Dad was a writer. He wrote.
You were able to
He was a writer and an artist.
Okay.
And so I guess I got that from him. But Dad was a pervert. He was a jerk. And even in his writings, it was terrible. And I go, man, I'd give that away too.
Michael.
Yeah, he was terrible. He was always looking for his own father's approval, but his dad died before I was born. Yeah. So, but he was a bad cop. That's why it was an arranged marriage in the Sicilian mafia.
I didn't
You
know
know.
that your dad was a cop.
Yeah, in Detroit.
I don't know much about your dad. I mean, I met and loved your mom. So.
Yeah.
Your
And
dad
she
wasn't
never.
around. Your dad wasn't around when I was in the picture, right? So I don't know.
He left when I was 4.
Yeah, so.
But
I met you and Nick.
yeah, he was screwed up, and that explains Nick. It does. It explains Nick a lot. I got mom's personality, and Nick, he's got dad's screwed upness.
But Nick was, he's younger than you by how many years?
1 year. Yeah, today he's 57. I'm 2 years older than him today.
What?
For a couple weeks. So the 28th, he turns 58.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, there's a bite. Yep,
No, Michael.
that was a bite. He lost. He came off. Yeah, Nick. Nick never grew up, unfortunately. He's still the same Nick you remember in high school, and he still keeps in touch with everybody from high school. That's so weird.
Is he?
Yeah, I mean, all his old buddies and stuff, and they're all just as screwed up today as they were back then.
Really?
Yeah, they just.
I don't keep in touch with. I mean,
Well, neither do
know
I.
Barry and Scott. I mean,
Oh.
I do their Facebook, so I comment on things, but I haven't. But if I ever,
Well,
if
I
ever get back to
I stopped. I discontinued my Facebook page.
I know,
So
saw
I
that.
went. I went to all the phone
I was
numbers.
like, how did you find me?
Well, I went to all the phone numbers of when we visited Portland, and I sent everybody a text. You know, and I said, "Are you Charlie? Are you Charlie?" It was like,
Oh my God, that's so.
Yeah.
I was like, how did you find you? And she goes, I go, how did you find me? She goes, Andy, he was up here. I said, yeah.
yeah,
I
we
know.
did talk on the phone once,
We talked on the phone
and so I knew I had your number, and I just, I just texted everybody. Some people said no, some people it was a landline. You know, I was like, I don't know. I just. Figured that was the only way to figure it out.
Sorry, I didn't have my number already.
Yeah, I got your number now.
Yeah,
But it was a lot. Yeah, I enjoyed our time up in Portland. That was a fun dinner. It was great seeing you.
So great.
Yeah, I know it's weird, but and we did only hang out for a year and a half or so together in high school, but
That's what Anna told
we
me.
got along.
We did.
And I told Kathy, good people are good people for their whole life, and you're a good guy, and so I knew you were going to be a good guy still, so I didn't have to really worry about you turning into Nick Ruffino. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that.
But you guys even asking, I'm like, I feel like there was only like 9th and 10th grade kind of maybe.
Yeah, 10th grade.
Right?
Yeah, 9th and 10th.
Was it kind of when first got
Yeah, it was when we first started high school. We were a band, and then sophomore year was marching band, symphonic winds, all that stuff, orchestra and stuff like that.
But by 11th grade, right? You're.
Well, Mr. Weekly pissed me off preseason, and he pissed me off. He bought the drums, and I had a belt buckle, and he gave me the bass drum, and it scratched the drum, and he just got on me, and I said, "Screw you." Yeah, and I quit.
I saw a picture. I think Brad Square posted it. You, that girl that plays the drums, that I can't remember. Lisa.
Oh, Lisa.
Was it
There we
Lisa?
go. There we go.
You got one?
Oh, I had one. We're almost to my spot. So, Lisa.
Oh, she went out with.
She's real cute. She was
She was super cute.
Yeah,
She lived
and-
up on the hill. Her dad had a '63 Corvette.
right, Lisa.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up.
Is it Lisa? I think if I got her name.
It was Maria. Oh, well, no, Marie. No, Marie was the horse girl. She did horses. She was real cute too.
Yeah.
Lisa.
God, the girl that I could not get my eyes off was Kim, the flute player. I was so smitten by that girl.
I was spent.
Oh my God, and that girl.
I always wanted to ask Tony Kasnave out, and she ended up with I forgot his name, and I saw her at a 20-year reunion.
You saw Kim?
Oh, I saw a bunch of people at a 20-year. They all came up to me and said, "Mike, how do you know me? I was a nobody in high school."
Yeah.
They go, "It's your laugh." I go, oh my God. I go, my laugh. I guess I looked at my wife and said, "These are the worst things to be known for." And but Tony had 7 children. I couldn't do that, man. There's no way. 7 kids.
I got 1.
And she married Bradford. There was the Bradford brothers, James Bradford, and
They still live in town, did they?
well, she got divorced from James, but yeah, I always wanted. She wasn't the cutest girl, but she was fun. And Tony Kazan, she was a flag thrower, and
I
and
remember now, curly brown hair.
yes.
Yeah.
And the only girl I asked in high school out, the only one I asked out was Colleen. She was a tall flagger, and
I kind of remember her too.
I did it over the phone. I was such a wuss, and then she changed her mind. I agree. I mean, I wouldn't have dated me either, but I was so shy around girls. I couldn't ask a girl out to save my life.
I was so shy too. People ask me now, I'm like, I'm not even the same person. I'm not, like, personality-wise, I'm not the same person.
All right, pull yours in
But all right.
and get that other bait, that other rod.
Watch my luck, I'm going to have a fish on me.
You might. Sometimes a small largemouth, they don't fight much. But a smallie, they do. This area is about 8 feet deep. Lots of vegetation below us. Really good spot for bass, crappie, stuff like that.
No fish.
No fish. That's a big bait. I caught that 2.5 pounder that ran on me and played dead on that bait, a couple weeks ago.
Hook, man.
Yeah, it's a 4-aught. Yeah, just...
Wow, I forget some of these people. Is that the only one you went to? I haven't gone to one.
I only went to the 20. I didn't go to our.
Should I go back to the other pool?
Yeah, yeah. Our 50th was just last year, and I didn't go to our 50th.
I haven't gone to any of them.
Well, it was.
I don't know if I'm up for that. I just don't. I don't know. Like, do I want to?
It was kind of cool to see.
Nobody really knew me, man.
Well, I didn't think so either. I was a pretty invisible kid, and they all knew Nick, or of Nick, and it's like all these girls, they thought they dated me in high school. I didn't date any girl in high school, and it was like, I go, no, you didn't date me. Although Dove Horowitz, I don't know if you remember Dove Horowitz, but Dove Horowitz was there, and she was always kind of ditzy, really naive. And so, I went up to Dove. I forgot who was it that, so Mike, you remember Dove? I go, and I looked at her. I says, oh my gosh, this is Dove. I says, I'm coming here. I was afraid you were going to be here, and I didn't know what I would say if we met. And that date we had in high school. I go, no. Oh. I made everything up.
Did you really?
Yeah. And so I go, and I'd make this elaborate lie up, right? Just a story of her, and I got her to finally agree that we had dated, and and she's just as naive today as she was in high school, and it was so funny. I forgot who it was with me, and then I said, Dove, I says, don't worry, I says, we didn't know each other in high school. I go, we never dated. I go, I'm just pulling your leg, and he started busting up. We walked away because you couldn't have done it to a better person. I go, yeah. I figured she didn't change much.
Dove, I don't know. I don't recognize that name at all.
Dove Horowitz. She was in, I don't know what she was. She was a popular girl, but she hung out with popular girls. So even though she was shy, she hung out, with Jennifer Lizarraga and, all those. I mean.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She was in that crowd.
She was in that crowd. Yeah, she was. And it's funny, a lot of those girls, and on Facebook, they talk to me. And I told him, I tell him, says, you were in the pretty crowd. I said, I couldn't approach you girls. She goes, really? I forgot who it was. It was, Sue Wright. I don't know, forgot who. But she goes, I never dated in high school. I go, you're kidding. She goes, I would have said yes to you. I go, that probably would have happened. I go, but I didn't have the nerve.
Yeah, I didn't even.
That was amazing. These popular girls, they didn't date in high school either.
That's so funny. They were just as scared as
They were, yeah.
But we didn't know that at the time.
No, they were. Nope.
We thought they walked on water.
Yep, they did. Yeah, you look at Jennifer Lizaraga was probably the prettiest girl in school, man. I mean, she was just.
Jeannie Tolstad, man.
Jamie Tolstad. Yeah.
She was in my elementary school. I was with her from about third grade.
I loved her dad.
Oh
Her
my
dad
God.
was cool.
Me and John Bickmore couldn't get enough of her. She was. I don't know if you remember John Bickmore.
I remember John Bickmore. Yeah, I think he's dead now. I think John. No, is he? His name's sticking out in my
You know what?
head.
All these people we went to school with, they could start at that age, man. We're definitely at that age.
Well, yeah, people are starting to fall. Mm.
I think every day. I enjoy every day.
Yeah, when I had COVID, and I was doing those Facebook lives every day, right at the beginning. I don't know if you saw them.
Oh, I did.
And
I was watching them. That's the one where you almost died.
yeah, they just brought me back, and it was like, we're going to, Doc says we're going to try this experimental drug. Back then it was like a month old, and so a lot of people weren't taking COVID seriously. They just thought it was a joke or overreaction.
Yeah.
And here I am dying. And it was like, so I was bored. I mean, Kathy couldn't visit me. Nobody could visit me in the hospital. And even the doctors and nurses had to wash down and change. And it was crazy. And so
You spent a lot of alone time.
I talk on Facebook. Hey guys, and then people are yelling at me. You're not gonna die. And I go, well, maybe.
I don't think I yelled at you.
No, but a few of the girls did. Yeah,
I was thinking about you, but I didn't yell at you.
I remember. Yeah, I remember.
I didn't yell at you.
No, you actually sent a really nice
I don't
message
yell at this
to
guy.
me.
He's dying. What's wrong with people? You guys watching what's going on? Are you guys watching what's going on here? Are you watching this?
Punkage called me that week, and it was like, and he made me laugh so much. I had the code team run into the room because my oxygen level had gone down, and I was laughing. Yeah, I go, Punkage, you're killing me. Literally.
So
I got a code team in here.
So we have to go back a little bit because this is the question Ann asked him. She's like, so you only knew? I go, yeah, I feel like me and Michael only hung out like 9th and 10th. And
Yeah.
then about 11th, you started hanging out with Punkeye?
Well, yeah,
So how did you
and
meet Punkeye in the whole?
well, Punkage and I grew up together in elementary school and junior
Oh,
high.
you guys went to the same elementary school. Okay.
Right. When he moved to the United States,
Okay.
he moved into my classroom
What
in
did
elementary
you go
school.
to?
El Camino.
Okay. I went to
It's
Clarence.
now-
I was way on the other side of
Yeah, El Camino. Well, El Camino was in our neighborhood.
Yeah, but it was on the other side. They're all in the neighborhood.
Yes.
Wasn't
El
that-
Camino's on
wasn't that
H
big
and
a-
Laurel,
Maybe-
although now it's a remote, classes for Alan Hancock, I
I
think,
mean, we
or
had
something.
30,000 people, but it felt like a small town.
It was a small town.
I mean,
Yeah, Mom was
It was 30,000 people. So you guys, okay, so you knew each other from a
Oh yeah. Punkage and I
was
knew each
wondering-
other from childhood.
Oh,
In fact, I beat him up when he. Well, a kid wore slacks to school. We're 7 and 8 year olds. You beat up the kid in slacks. You just beat him up. And then John Jackson went to his aid. And it was like, yeah, and it was like, and so my mom hears that I beat up this Indian kid, and she goes, "You go over there and you apologize." So I go to
You
his.
beat him up because he's wearing slacks.
Yeah, he was stupid looking. And plus he was Indian. I had never seen an Indian kid.
Oh my God.
I don't know. He just looked, big nose,
Oh my God.
slacks.
That's so funny.
We're 7 and 8 years old.
You beat him up because he's wearing slacks.
Yeah, it was stupid. Anyway, so I went over to Lompoc Motel where, they lived,
Yeah.
because they owned it. And so, and then I don't know who answered, his mom or one of his older sisters or
Really
whatever.
went over there and apologized.
I went over there and I apologized.
Well, because mom told you.
Mom told me to. I had to apologize. And then Pankaj and I bonded.
Wow.
And, you know, it's his family became my family.
You know what's funny is that whole analogy. That's what I tell my wife now about kids and how they talk on Facebook and degrade each other, and the way we used to settle fights, or the way we used to settle arguments, and then we wound up becoming friends.
Yep.
But now it's like
they
do this dirty talking and they don't face the person.
No.
And then there's no resolution. When you face the person, there's a resolution.
It usually is. And you
Some
know,
kind of resolution. You didn't always.
You know, Pankaj. I didn't know Pankaj was. You know, Pankaj was this dorky kid, and they just moved here from Birmingham, England. You know, he didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And you know, the more I got to know Pankaj and his family, they're good people, and it's just, yeah,
That's what I mean. But if it was a Facebook.
I mean, I was just a stupid kid.
Yeah. But it's the face-to-face arguments that we had that you had to confront the person you insult.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a different world.
Yeah, it was.
It made it, I don't know. I think I just appreciated the way we solved things back then.
We did.
I find it, and I feel really sad for the kids.
Electronics has retarded people.
Oh my God.
If you ask me, I mean, it's.
I don't think it's helped.
No, it's retarded social
I don't
skills.
know if you can blame it for everything, but
Yeah, let's move. We're not getting anything here. We'll get something. What's that?
The fish are like, those guys are wild.
Oh, I usually play music, you know. I'm usually rocking out. So the fish love 70s and 80s music. So.
Really?
Yeah, they love that crap.
Okay.
Little Tears for Fears, the Peter Frampton, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just rocking out.
Well, this is so awesome to catch up. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. We're just getting closer to the shore. We're going to cast towards the shore.
Okay.
There's right at the shoreline, there's no vegetation. So you try to get the bait as close to the shore you can and pull it towards you.
Okay.
And then as it comes towards the bushes, fish are hiding there and they'll hit it.
That's what I told Anna, because I told her like your principle about catching more
They're
fish
ambush.
going in.
Yeah, they're ambush
So
predators.
when you throw from out there, they don't,
Not as much.
because you're coming back towards them.
Right. Yeah.
Plus, I've been smart. They see the fish land in the water.
Oh, they hit it usually right away though. That's why you close the bill immediately.
Really?
All right.
So, is this another,
So you see, look down there. You see all the vegetation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Is there another campsite here?
Yeah, this is sunset. So this
That's
is.
why I was a couple of minutes late, because I got here and my GPS was like, you're at the Lake of the Woods. Yeah, I know I'm at the Lake of the Woods, but how about the spot where I'm supposed to be?
So now cast towards shore and bring it towards all this vegetation.
Okay.
This place usually hits a little later in the day. Oh, there's a bite.
I don't know if I have to park.
There's a bite.
I don't know if I have to park for my car either. I didn't pay for my car.
Oh yeah, don't worry.
Okay. Mike's like,
Yeah, that's if George puts a little red sticker on yours, don't worry.
Okay.
I usually put red stickers on George's trucks.
What does a red sticker mean?
It means you gotta pay.
Oh, you gotta pay.
He's one of the owners.
Oh, is he? You put a sticker on the owner's truck.
Oh yeah, even before I started working here. Oh yeah, yeah.
Michael.
So, George, Joel, and I, and you and I, we're all the same age.
Yeah.
You know, so when I got hired, everybody thought I was an owner.
Oh, really?
They were giving me like 50% off on the crap, and I was like,
oh, really?
yeah, I'm good.
That's cool.
I'm good. I'm an owner now.
That's so funny. Michael.
Yeah, I'll be an owner. Well, I walk around. Yeah, I just walk around and I act like I own the place.
Yeah.
I say hi to everybody, I greet them, and and it's just like, and then I just walk wherever I want to walk, and people are like, well, you must belong here. I do that all the time in businesses. I'll go into the back kitchen, talk to oh yeah, hey, they don't know. What are they going to say? Who are you? I go, I'm Mike. You should know that by now.
That cod's not done.
It's so funny, people. I mean, as a salesman, it's not what you say, it's how you say it that convinces people. You know. So when you walk into a business, it's how you walk in.
Yeah.
You know, walk in like you're going, you're the district manager.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're gonna be like catering to you. It's funny. I've had stores actually think I was the district manager.
No way.
Oh yeah. The manager comes out. How you doing? I go. I'm doing pretty good. I was just looking over your store.
Michael.
It's great, man.
When do you let him off the hook?
Oh, in time.
Yeah.
When I see him squirm enough.
Yeah.
Because managers, they get real scared.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah, they do.
I took over the Florin Road Good Guy store, and we had a manager meeting in Sacramento, and all the managers come to me at lunch. He goes, Mike, you know where the team is? I go, yeah. I know. He goes, yeah, they're at your store. Are you ready? I go, for what?
Yeah.
I had the owner, the founder of the company, VPs, the president, blah 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 blah, and it's like, and I go, don't worry about it. I go, they'll have a great time in my store. And so after lunch, and in the afternoon break, all the executive team calls me over, make it dive a little deeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hold it down.
Yeah, and reel it a little faster.
Okay, I got you. All right. Thanks.
And so they come up to me and they go, you know where we were? I go, really? I go, Ken, everybody knows where you were. I go, you think that was going to be a secret? He looked at me. I looked at him. I says, did you have a good time in my store?
Yeah.
He goes, why would you ask us if we had a good time in your store? I go, because my store's a great time.
Yeah.
I go, did you have a good time? He goes, let us tell you about what happened. And he says, right when we walked in, he goes, we were greeted. We were sat down in your home theater area. We were given a demonstration and then walked from one room and department to another. And everybody was so proud. And I go, yeah. I go, so you had a good time. And he goes, we had a great time. We're very impressed with because that store was taken hostage back in '91.
Did you tell me that was the worst store?
It was the worst store. And it was just failing all the time. And so so Jason Dillon, who's a really cool guy, he was vice president of sales or something, I forgot. And Jason comes up to me by himself. And he goes, Mike says, they didn't take me seriously as a manager because I'm fairly flamboyant, outgoing, loud, laugh a lot. And I had to really beg for that store because it was in bad shape. And so Jason comes up to me, goes, Mike says, I owe you an apology. I go, Jason, what do you owe me an apology for?
Yeah.
I go, you've always treated me really well.
Yeah.
And he goes, I didn't think you could do it, Mike.
Wow.
He goes, I could not have been more wrong about you.
Wow.
So it was really nice of Jason to show that kind of humility in a position that he was in,
That's true.
And Jason still, Facebook and stuff, I saw him regularly and stuff. And it was he's just one of those really good men. And I thought it was really classy of him to apologize to me on something I was completely oblivious to. But a lot of the managers, district managers and vice presidents, they didn't want me. One, Florin Road was ethnic. Oh, there we go. Oh, I had one. It's a very ethnic store, a lot of blacks and Asians.
Okay.
And so they didn't want to put a white manager in there.
Okay.
A lot of gangs, hookers out front. I mean, it was
Really?
really bad. So they didn't want a white guy in there.
Really?
So I had a '69 Dodge Charger at the time, and so these gangbangers would see my Charger out front, And I had an armed guard because it was one the store was taken hostage one time.
Taken
And
hostage?
oh yeah, if you look it up on YouTube, "Good Guys Hostage,"
Really?
you'll see that store. And it was a bad SWAT raid, and people died. A lot of people were shot.
What?
And that's why I wanted the store, because it was depressed.
And your wife was happy about this. Kathy was
She
happy
did.
that you were.
She had faith in me.
Yeah.
And so these gangbangers would come into the parking lot, see that '69 Charger sitting out front, and then I get, my security guard says, "Mike, somebody's looking at your car." I said, "All right, I'll go shoot to kill if they try to steal it." And so I walk out there, and these guys, these are all heavy gangers, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And they were, they're showing me their rice burners, their mods. I'm popping the hood on mine, and the car was absolutely the ticket for me to
Really?
bond with the gangsters of the area.
Really?
They loved my car, and nobody was going to screw with it. I mean, they literally would protect it.
Wow.
It was really a really cool thing.
Huh.
And people are people. I went to get my hair cut across the street at a place called Fly Cuts. I mean, this is a black neighborhood, okay? So here's this gray-haired white guy walking in to Fly Cuts. And if you ever seen the movie Barbershop, this was the barbershop that was patterned, because they had video games going, bootleg DVDs being sold, just it's a bar. It's not really a barber shop. Yeah. So this kid, he calls me over to the chair, and he looks at me, he goes, "Man, I don't know how to cut a white guy's hair."
Is that what he said?
Yeah. I go, "Look, just grab a razor, put the longest little thing on it. I go, and just shear me like a sheep." I go, "No designs, no patterns. I go, just cut it, make it look good."
You didn't tell the guy how to cut your hair.
Yeah, and the kid was really a nice kid. I went to him every time. His wife was in the military, serving in Afghanistan. To be honest, I bonded with everybody in the neighborhood. It was so much fun. And then, after I got the store off its feet and back in the black again, the company came to me. I bought a house in South Sac and everything. And it's like 8 months later, they go, "Mike, we want you to go back down to Fresno and take that store over."
Yeah.
I go, "I just bought a house here." He goes, "Yeah, you could sell it again." I go, "Yeah, I could." I go, "But I got a newborn that just got, Russell got born, and then I'm a little girl, my wife." So went back to Fresno.
Did you really move?
Yep.
You did it, huh?
My team was very upset.
Oh,
Yeah, no, when I took over that store, it was 30% staffed. I hired anybody who could fog a mirror. I couldn't. I just needed somebody to fill a schedule. I figured I could fire them later. I just needed somebody to put on the schedule. And 2 weeks into hiring, I was interviewing this kid in the manager's office, and some female sheriff comes up to me, and she goes, "You're the manager?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "We're hooking up one of your boys." 9 sheriffs raided the store.
What?
I looked at her. I go, "I'm new to the hood." I go, "What's hookup mean?" I go, "Because that sounds like something good." She goes, "No, we're arresting him." You know what hookup meant? So I go out to the store, and they take one of the nicest guys on my staff, one of the nicest guys, into custody, and they're going through his car.
Yeah.
I go out. I go, "Officers, can you just give me a hint of what's going on?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "We have physical evidence of this guy being a serial rapist in L.A. and in Sacramento." I go, "Oh."
Oh.
So I call my buddy up down in Fresno. I go, "Rich." I go, 2 weeks. I go and get raided, and the nicest guy is a serial rapist. He started laughing, and I was like, I go, dude, this is the hood. I'm in the hood. I put a white guy in the hood. Yeah, so that story was all screwed up. It was pretty funny though. We
How long were you at that store?
8 months. 8 months.
8 months.
I turned it in 3.
8 months you turned. Wow.
I turned it in 3.
Wow.
Yeah. We were opening new stores down in LA, and I I stole a truck of their materials,
Yeah.
of board, wall board and stuff, and basically I rerouted it to my store because my store looked like crap. So I needed some new boards, wood looking stuff, and
Okay.
and my team and I, we just put it up through the whole store, so the store just looked totally new, and I just, each man for himself, man. I mean,
And what company did you work for again?
Good Guys,
Good
Guys
How long did you
Audio
work for
Video.
them?
I worked for them 16 years.
Wow.
16 years I worked for them. They were the best company I've ever worked for.
Until they fired.
No, they went out of business.
Oh.
CompUSA bought them.
Who's the
Carlos
company-
Slim bought CompUSA, Circuit City,
Who's the company
and
that fired you?
that was Orchard Supply, Lowe's.
Those guys.
They fired me. Oh, fix the bait. It's hung up on the line.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Why did you leave Good Guy?
Oh, they closed.
Oh.
They closed their doors.
They went out of business.
Went out of business. And so I opened my own store at that time, the Wild Bird Center.
Okay.
So Kathy and I, we went into retail ourselves.
Okay.
It was a nature store, a lot of nature goods, all organic.
Okay.
Sold bird seeds, bird feeders, bird houses.
Oh, wow.
Took people on bird walks. It was a nature store,
What
you know.
made you want to do that? I mean,
Her parents, my in-laws,
okay.
they shopped at a Wild Bird Center in
Okay.
Sacramento.
Oh.
And they go, "What? Have you ever thought about this?" So I had to look it up. And it's a very popular hobby. And so I think, okay, well, it's got viability. And I just, we opened it. Cost me $250,000 of my money.
Did it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So bought a franchise and opened it in Fresno.
And it was
And it
going
didn't,
well for a while?
it lasted 3 years. Sucks. It was really fun, though. It really was a lot of fun. I mean, the people, customers were fantastic. They're nature customers, so it's just like they're all really
You
cool.
must have had a really
Great
fun
clientele.
to go to
Okay,
work.
let's. We're gonna move.
Okay.
This place usually does when the sun hits it.
Yeah.
It brightens up. It does really, really good. All right.
So fun to catch up with you.
What's that?
It's fun to catch up with you.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
We're going fast now.
so wait, you just got to meeting, you know?
No, it was in Modesto. I lived in Modesto.
That's right, you moved there because of family?
Chris lived there. My sister Chris. When all my friends were enamored with. Everybody said, she's so pretty.
That's right, 'cause so remind me, you were going to go to college.
I went to college.
Then you went on.
And I went to college, and then I didn't like living in Hayward. Yeah, I went to Hayward. And it was just too much of a culture shock for a small town boy. I couldn't get used to it. One time I went to a party, and this one good-looking girl was there. I took my buddy who's gay, and he goes, I go there and say, I told him, I gotta introduce myself to her. He goes, no, you don't. I go, yeah, she's hot. She's beautiful. He goes, yeah, you don't. And I go, why? He goes, it's a dive, right? I go, no way. So I walked up to this dude, I couldn't tell. I swear I couldn't tell. And when you're in a city to where you take a girl home and find out she ain't a girl, you gotta split town. Yeah, you know, my friends, that was their thing, not mine. And you know, they didn't find me surprised. I didn't. So, yeah, so I moved to Modesto, and I was gonna use Mike Bird, but Mike Bird, he played football. He's a year ahead of us, and his sister and my sister were really, really good friends. And Mike had committed suicide. He went down into the riverbed, they walked up, shot himself. And I went to Mike's funeral, and I was suffering at the time because expectations were really high. Being the only Filipino ever going to college, and I wasn't a dumb guy, you know. Just people, that's what, you know, everybody had high expectations. And so, you know, I went back to Modesto, and my sister Chris, she was a witness, and I was bored one Thursday night, and I said, do you mind if I go to a meeting with you? And Thursday night it was held at a person's house, a book study, you know, where like 20 people were there and studied a lot. So we go to the Grayson's house, and I had a beard, long hair, and you don't want to know it. I did not look like a witness, right? And my sister was like, yeah, you can come in. So I go, and these three cute girls were flirting with me. Look at this, and it ain't too bad. I can be a witness. Yeah, that was all right by me. Yeah, I was like, and so I went to a few more meetings, and then my sister got this great idea that she'll deny him to this day. One of them was a cute blonde, her name was Lenny, Jerry Lynn, but everybody called her Lenny. And so she goes, well, if you want to get to know Lenny really well, why don't you ask your dad to study the Bible with you? I go, okay, sounds like a good plan. So I was 20. And so I go to Jerry at a meeting. Old guy, short guy, old, really nice guy, elder in the congregation. Really great guy. And I go to Jerry and I said, do you mind studying the Bible with me? He goes, no. We love studying the Bible with people. I didn't know that. But anyway, so I go to Jerry. I go, do you mind studying the Bible with me? He goes, no, when you want me to come over? He said, I don't want to introduce you. I'll come to your house. And, hey, just working the plan. And so I go to Jerry's house, and I started learning the Bible, and I didn't believe anything witnesses said. So I just went to the library, and I double checked everything. There's witnesses have a different belief system. And so I had to look it up in Pentecostal Protestant. I had to look it up in everything. And I got so enthralled with this, I forgot about Lenny. Yeah. And 5 months after that, you know, I got baptized. And I studied a lot. And you have to know a lot before you're baptized. And because you're in the ordained ministry. So I learned a ton of stuff. And 6 months later, I started full-time ministry. And that's 6 months later. Yeah. So that's when I met Cap. And actually, buddy who suffered a stroke. One thing, depression and feeling sorry for yourself, it's better to find a way to give to people. You know, find something you can do to give something back to somebody else. You I was at a buddy's house yesterday, and a woman was there, a sister of ours, a witness, and her husband's not a witness, but he lost his job. So I am suffering of what we call a complex migraine. Looks like a stroke yesterday, and so I looked at her. I go, do you guys need help? And she goes, how was your husband? Thank you, some witness came and gave you guys stuff. When you blind now, because I don't know. And she goes, no. He wouldn't mind. I lost my right side yesterday, so I let the cat just get her address and stuff. I go, one thing, look what we can. But you always try to find people that you can help. It makes you feel better. It takes your mind off of you. And so he needs to be giver. Because it'll save his life. It'll save his life. That's why I do so much here and with the kids and town for the homeless. I do a lot of stuff in the community. And you just gotta give. It makes you feel better. There is more happiness in giving than receiving. And get your mind off of your problems. When you can help somebody with their problems. He needs to do stuff like that.
Well, when I get back, like I said, I have my family after like 10 years. So he was a guy who was bringing us up. So we come together.
And I want to help him too. I deal with suicidal thoughts all the time. And I have to think of reasons every day of why I should still be alive. And so I do stuff for people, and that makes me feel good. And PTSD, and I'm clinically depressed too. I'm a lot of meds. And you just got to do stuff. I can't stop. If I stop, I think about me, and I want to think about me.
We'll get inside your head.
Yeah, it does. It gets inside your head, and you don't want that to happen.
I watched this one guy. There was a guy for Lincoln Park. The guy killed himself. He killed himself. He was on the doctor. He said the most dangerous part is riding through my head.
It is. You're worse at it.
Because when I get a beer, because when he said the same thing, because when I feel things my back up, like meeting people, when I'm making people happy, they come and see me at a concert, and we do the meeting because I'm not up here.
Exactly. No, and it's just
when I'm alone,
it's a big deal. Because we are our worst enemies, and we start feeling, emotions come back, and we don't want those emotions. We want to push them out, so we replace them with something else. Joy of helping somebody else, and that's what we replace them with, and that's what we do. And
so even yesterday, you have one of those what do they call compound
complex migraines. Yeah, I was pretty stressed out yesterday, and that triggers them. I just have a hard time speaking, and
oh, I'm sorry.
I'm used to it.
I know you're used to it, but man,
my friends,
oh my God.
they have a hard time. My hand clutches, and you can't open it, and you just
Is that what happens to you?
Yeah, your hand goes through a clutch formation, and you can't basically this side is completely locked up. And your brain doesn't want to cooperate with your mouth, and speech aphasia is really bad. So all right, toss out there. This is about 8 feet deep. A lot of vegetation below us. You can see all the grass and stuff. These clumps. I mean, our lake is very clear. I mean, our lake is 14 feet visibility. So
what's speech aphasia again?
it's when your brain, when you can think of a word but your mouth can't say it.
Okay.
So there's this dam, this block
Yeah.
between your brain and your mouth.
'Cause I think
And
my
it's
friend-
very
I think
frustrating.
my friend Jeff has that. 'Cause
It's very
when
frustrating.
I got there, he was talking to me and Dennis, and he was fine, man. But other
Well-
people, they said that he was obviously he lost his speech.
Casual conversation's easier. Those
Is it?
pathways are established. But if you have to think
Okay.
and you got to contemplate or something like that, then that conversation is very difficult. I got to break this rod and I got to catch something with this thing. Brand new rod.
You said like you were frustrated yesterday. Is that what triggers it, or is that after
Stress.
stress triggers you?
Stress.
You were getting stressed.
It can.
What are you stressing about?
People. I'm. My wife calls me a strong personality.
Yeah.
And not everybody can handle a strong personality, and so I don't know how to be anybody else.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just know how to be Mike,
Yeah.
and so I've always been this way. I mean, I don't cuss or get drunk or stoned anymore, but I'm still Mike Ruffino. I'm still. Oh, no. Oh, that was a good hit.
You got one?
Oh, it was a good hit. That one hit hard.
I'm gonna feel like a bump, and then I'll. Pull
Yeah. No, it'll boom. It'll hit.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's a bass.
So they're here. Huh?
They are. This is a good lunker spot too, man. You can catch some big ones out here.
Are we in the big spot?
Not yet. Not where that one lives, but there are big ones that live out here. You can catch 3 or 4 pounders out here.
Okay. So yesterday you were having a stressful day.
Yeah, people don't know how to handle me, and I apologize a lot to people because I upset them, but I don't know. I don't know how to be anybody else. I can't be anybody else. I mean, so I hope that people,
We have all different people. That's what makes the world.
exactly. And you know what?
That's what makes life interesting. And
Exactly.
right?
People,
If you don't, if we're all the same.
and nobody wants 2 microfinos in the world. Nobody. Yeah, I couldn't handle a guy like me. So I kind of understand why people can't handle me.
You can handle
But-
a guy like you.
But people, I tell my kids and people that know me, I make friends with everybody. And
Right.
because different people especially make life richer. We learn so much from each other.
Right.
The homeless, in town,
Yeah.
they just want to be treated with some dignity. Most
Yeah.
of them,
Yeah.
they're good people. A lot of them are, and they. So I treat them with the dignity that I would expect to be treated. That golden rule,
Yeah.
and they respond. I always have a case of water in my trunk. Make sure that's an osprey.
Oh,
Right
whoa.
there.
Don't get my hook. Oh,
Yeah,
whoa.
it's a fish eagle.
He's fishing.
He's in the same family as a bald eagle.
He's fishing too.
He is. Yeah, he is fishing.
Huh.
You'll see him dive down, splash, and grab a fish.
Well, I was telling Anna. We went. Speaking of the homeless people, he came here. We're from Portland, right? We have.
You have a lot of
We have a
homeless.
lot, and they're aggressive. It can be.
Yeah, in Klamath
they
they're
get some
not.
trouble.
That's the way LA is too.
They're not like that here.
No,
Nobody bugged us. I was like,
nope.
I'm like, man,
They're actually nice people.
they're just,
And that's why in my ministry,
they're just down and out.
I just talk to them, and a lot of witnesses are afraid to approach them, and me, I just walk up to people and I just start talking to them, and in town they have a lot of public pianos, and homeless people will get on them, and some of them are pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'll just stand there and listen,
Wow.
and you can hear their emotions, through the piano, and I just
Huh.
when I start talking to them, and they're just good people. 90% of them. There's a few that are pretty well strung out,
Yeah.
but
Most of the ones we saw, they were just down and out people. Man.
Yep. Yeah.
They didn't want to cause you any
But
harm.
a lot of people are afraid of them, because
Well, of course, yeah.
they're afraid they're going to get
Yeah.
hurt or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Me, I'm not afraid of anything. I don't worry about it. I'm worried about hurting people's feelings, but I ain't afraid of anything. Nope. Here, switch that bait to the one on that rod.
Okay.
It's the same style, but I've caught a lot of fish with that one. Yeah. Switch it.
Put it onto this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Switch it.
All right.
Let's see what we can do with that. I've caught a lot of bait with that one. Or fish.
Come on, fish. Come on.
Yeah. No, I enjoy meeting people. And people. I tell my kids, people want to be nice, but people forgotten how to be nice because they don't get much chance to do it anymore. And so if you give them an opportunity, you get them to smile or whatever.
Yeah.
And I told my salesman, the reason my stores were always the best in the company is because a happy salesman makes happy customers, and happy customers spend more money. And so I always told them, always make a friend, then make a sale. Don't try to make a sale first. And so always try to get that customer, to laugh. Because when they walk into a store, that's exceeding their expectations. They didn't expect to laugh and have a good time in your store.
Yeah.
So it was so easy to exceed their expectations, but just letting them have a good time.
Yeah. It's so funny because I do exactly that and my boss can't figure it out. She's like, Chuck, she goes, you're up at the register. And she goes, I'll send somebody up there that's pissed. The next thing you know, they're laughing at your register. And I'm like, it's because I treat people with respect.
Exactly.
You don't know how to do that.
No.
I told her, I'm like,
I tell my people, rules are made for jerks, but for good people, they can do. We give them anything, but for the jerk, we stick to the rules.
You know what's funny? She's starting to find that out because she's given me a lot of leeway lately. She's realized that I'm the anchor in that store. I've been there almost 10 years.
Yeah. I remember this one time at Best Buy. I had a top 10 store, and I get this page, and this man and his pregnant wife were at the Geek Squad window with a MacBook that was in two pieces and water damaged. I mean, it was crashed.
Okay. Wow.
So I'm sure he wanted another one, right?
Yeah.
And so I go up to the window, and he's already. When I get there, they're already fuming.
They're mad.
Yeah, they're mad, and it's hard for me to pull them down.
Yeah.
So, but she's like 9 months pregnant, man. I mean, her belly's way out there.
Okay.
And so I looked at, and he wants to go toe to toe with me.
Yeah.
And I looked at her. I go, first child? Oh yeah, this is our first child. And and I go, boy or girl? They go, boy. I go, you got a name picked out? And all of a sudden, now we're talking about their kid.
Yeah,
we're not talking about the computer anymore, or his, why he was mad, or anything.
Yeah.
And I had them calm down and enjoying the conversation. And so, my Geek Squad guys are like watching, like, oh my God, how do you do that? Yeah. And I looked at him, after I got him in a good mood and stuff, right. And I go, so, I'm looking at that computer. I says, you ain't getting another one. I go, that ain't gonna happen. I go, but I do have some scratch and dents. I go over there and pick one. I go, I'll give you a great deal on it. And he goes, really? I go, yeah. I go over there in that cage and I go, you pick a nice MacBook or whatever you want. I go, I'll give you a really good deal on it. Yeah. I was done.
Exactly. See, you treated them like people, and you recognized their situation also.
Yep. Yeah.
Because you went to the kind of the heart of their frustration. They're not mad at you.
No.
They're already stressed. They're having a baby.
That thing bounced out of a truck onto a dirt road, through water puddles. I mean, you couldn't have looked any worse. And it's just, It was funny, but
He was trying to get a new one.
of course, yeah, they all do.
Of course.
And MacBooks are expensive. Yeah, but in Apple, they have this like thing about price fixing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I had this one first day at Best Buy. I'm sitting on. It's a Sunday. We do about $250,000 on Sunday,
Wow.
and all of a sudden I hear this guy yelling. I get this walkie. I never had a walkie before. And they have these acronyms. I don't know what these acronyms mean. And I'm like, I need somebody at Digital Cameras, or this or that. And they go, who is this? I go, this is your boss, your new boss. I go, I need somebody over here. He goes, yeah, we're called such and such. I go, I don't know what you're called. I go, I got
my
this
God,
thing. I'm talking into it. I go, we need help. So I'm like calling people over, and then I hear this man yelling in the computer department, and see he's got a fish. That Osprey picked up a fish just now. Yep, and so I hear this man just yelling, and I go, the other assistant manager goes, yeah, I go, Justin says, I got this. He goes, oh, thank you, Mike. and so I go over to the computer department where this guy is just at the top of his lungs yelling.
Wow.
And I look at him, I says, come here. He goes, what do you mean, come here? I go, follow me. And I just start walking towards our high-end sound rooms,
Right.
where he can yell as much as he wants, but nobody could hear him. And so he just had to follow me. He's yelling at me the whole time. I go, stop yelling. I go, you'll have your chance in a second. He goes, follow me. And so I take him into a sound room and I shut the room and I go, okay, do it. He goes, what do you mean? I go, yell at me. He goes, what do you mean? I go, look, you're out there yelling and making a scene and everything.
Yeah.
I go, I have no idea what you're yelling about. I go, take it out on me. I go, we're in a room. Nobody can hear you. I go, just yell. I go, as loud as you can. And he looks at me, he goes, I don't want to. I go, then what is your issue? And so, and so I talk to him, and I say, so I walk out there, I find what he needs, I ring him up myself, which I didn't even know how to do.
Oh my God.
And I ring him up. Customers taught me how to ring people up. Best Buy trains you on nothing.
Oh, really?
And so I had to learn everything on the
my
fly. And then I walked him out the door, and the employees are looking at me, so that's our new boss. And I go, oh, yeah, this is what you do.
Oh, my God.
I had these two girls try to flirt with their way into an exchange once, and it was good guys, and they tried to flirt. They're putting out the girls, cleavage over the counter at me. Yeah, they're working
really?
me. They're working me.
Okay.
Yeah, and they go, and I says no, and they go, what do you mean no? I go, the answer's no, and so they go, well, we'll make a scene. I go, really? They go, yeah, we'll make a scene and everybody will know. I go, do you mind taking about 3 steps back? And they go, why? I go, just right over there. And they backed up, and then I put them in a spot. I go, you see that camera right there? I go, that's the best spot. I go, so go ahead. I go, because we're replaying this later. These girls don't know what to do. They go, well, we're not going to give you a show. I go, but you said you were.
Yeah. Look.
It was so much fun. It was like, you know what to do. You start to diffuse people like that, It was like, okay. I had this one kid, Fresno back in the early 90s. It was a really rough town.
Was it?
Oh yeah. And this one kid walked in and he wanted something unreasonable, and I said no. So he pulls his gun on me.
What?
Yeah, they had guns. And I looked at him.
Wow.
I looked at him.
Wow.
And I was pissed. And I know it's hard to get me mad. It really is. It's really hard to get me mad. And I leaned over the counter at him.
Wow.
I go, you better be the best darn shot you've ever, I go, because if you miss or you wing me, I says, I'm gonna kill you. Oh yeah, I was mad. I think we just had that hostage situation a year or so earlier.
Yeah.
And, nobody threatens me. And that was the dumbest move you could possibly make, is to challenge a guy with a gun.
Yeah.
And so the kid backed down and he left my store.
Yeah.
And then I called the cops.
You did what?
Called the cops.
Yeah.
Showed him the video. It says, and the cop's like, you're stupid. I go, yeah. I go, but he pissed me off. I go, it's really hard to make me mad. I go, but point a gun at me. I go, yeah, I'm mad. Reel it in faster. See if we can get a faster reaction. We're going to get a little closer to shore after this reel in.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I mean, I just,
That's crazy, Michael.
yeah.
I would've done that.
No. You don't think about doing crap like that. You just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, and the kid, he was like 16 years old, 15,
Oh my God.
and he pulls a gun on me. It was like, you jerk, don't even try that. You do that, kick
Why
your
did he do
butt.
that? Was he mad at you? Or did
Yeah,
want money?
he wanted his way.
Oh,
Here,
yeah.
stop. Yeah, we're gonna move. We're gonna get a little closer.
He wanted to do it.
Yeah, he wanted us. I don't know what he
You were giving him what he wanted.
I wasn't gonna do that, kid. People. Yeah. People are stupid. They're just stupid. Most of these kids don't want to hurt anybody, but they want to act big. So if you start calling their bluff on stuff, they will usually back down. But there's going to be that one guy that won't, and you'll be shot. Yeah. And you're thinking, well, that was kind of dumb. Read your person a little bit better.
Did you have that more than once, or was that the only time?
Only time I had a gun pulled on me. I had, I've had people in the store with guns, but yeah, that was the only time one was pulled on me. Yeah, it's just.
I never had pulled gun. I had people get really mad.
I had this one guy. He cocked his fist, and I was ready. I was ready to take the hit.
Really?
I was ready, man. But he did not pull the trigger. But the fist went back, and I was like, it's gonna come. I really thought I was gonna get it. Yeah. I mean, Fresno was back then a very rough town.
Wow.
Really rough town. Yeah.
It's not rough anymore. It seems like
No, it's much better now. Much better now. Yeah. I mean, went back there when we opened that Good Guys in '90. One out of 3 cars were stolen. I mean, that's a lot of cars.
Yeah.
And then,
That's a
lot of drive-by shootings every day. Always a drive-by shooting. We go door to door, and there are bullet holes on people's doors. I mean, it was just, that's how bad Fresno was. All graffitied up, and it was really bad back then. So, but, Mom, I was raised by a tough mother, and I never back down. I should, but I don't. I mean, it's just the way I was raised,
Is this the Boy Scout thing?
That's Boy Scout.
That means the clubhouse is over there.
Yep.
So whatever.
Yeah, we're across the lake.
Yeah, because you told me the other day when we were there, you told me.
Yep, we're across the lake. Yeah, I don't know, it's just, he's just getting my ire up. Yeah, if the Jehovah's Witness holds back the Italian a lot. Just does. Because the Italian, he wants to come out a lot.
I was gonna say.
He does. I mean, I got. Yeah, you see all this is really good vegetation here too. So Let's get some bass over here.
See the bottom, right?
Yeah, no, it's clear. This is about 10 feet deep.
Don't get caught. Stand up, Jim. No, I need to move this one. You're on my way. Well, I'm glad that kid didn't post coming.
Well, he
I'm
didn't
glad
shoot.
He
He didn't shoot me.
He pulled it on. He just.
Hey, you'll pull it out. You better be ready to pull the trigger. Yeah. I was pissed. It was so bad. I mean, my adrenaline just shot through me. And it was just like the Italian just came out.
Yeah.
And I would have jumped over that counter with a bullet in my shoulder just to beat the crap out of him. I mean, it's not the Jehovah's Witness thing to do, by the way.
Yeah. It's funny is I'm the same way. If somebody hits my car or something or hits me, I always told my son, I said, if they hit me, you better hope that I'm dead because I'm getting out of this car.
Well, accidents are accidents, though. I mean,
Well, one time,
I mean,
I was like
people hit my
I was
cars.
17, I think, and I had my mom and I had my little niece Amy with me, and then we were at the swimming pool.
Yeah.
On 8th Street.
Yeah.
And this
On
lady,
Ocean.
Yeah, was it Ocean?
Yeah.
I can't.
That was on Ocean.
H Ocean.
The
Anyway,
municipal pool.
She backs up into me, and she's not looking. That's way before cameras, right? You look over your shoulder.
Yeah.
But she wasn't looking. But she almost hit me, and I was walking with my niece, and I came unglued, man. And my mom was in the pool center, and she heard me yelling at this lady. I was out in the parking lot. Goes, Charlie. I go, Mama. I'm unglued at this poor lady. Just backing up. She was probably 20, 30 years older than me, right? I'm like 17 years old, and I'm coming unglued, and I'm like, Mom, I can't handle that.
That pool's not there anymore. The whole building's gone.
Is it really?
Yep. They opened an aquatic center.
When's the last time you were there? You went back for... I haven't been back.
6 years ago?
2003.
I bought a boat back there, about 6 years ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, believe it or not, I bought it on Facebook, and he happened to live in the village.
That's so funny.
And
That's hilarious.
So yeah.
Facebook and it was in our old hometown.
Yeah, and so we drove. Russell and I drove over there, my son.
Oh my God.
And
that's funny.
And we just, I showed him around, went to La Purísima, and
wow.
It was fun. It was a fun day with just father and son going to my old hometown.
That's awesome.
Yep, that was fun. I'll go to Lompoc and pick up a boat.
You drove all the way out here from here?
Oh, I was lived in Santa Clarita at the time.
Oh, okay. I'm like.
Yeah, so Magic Mountain. So.
Okay, that's right. You guys have only been here for 3 years, huh?
3 years. It doesn't seem like that with everybody that knows me, but
Michael's like already.
A lot of
mayor of the town.
Yeah, no, people know who I am. It's just.
I'm going this way, Mike.
Yeah, see if you can cast towards that sticking up tree.
Okay.
Bass like to hide.
Like to hide?
Yeah, they love to hide. Water's getting pretty cold because we usually have a lot of steam coming from it, and it was like 48 degrees this morning, and there's just not a lot of steam. That's another way of telling water temperature is know your ambient temperature and to see if the water's putting off steam.
Oh my God, my windows are frozen over this morning.
Really?
I'm like, it's September. Yeah, they were frozen over.
Wow.
They were frozen until I got here. It was still frosty. Yeah, my truck said it was. My truck said it was 35 degrees when I got here.
Really?
I'm like, what? It's September.
Yeah, this town likes to change its mind pretty quick.
And I told Ann, I said, well, on the forecast it looks like we're going to have nice weather, but we'll see what happens when we get there.
It's beautiful.
What?
You can't beat this.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat this.
This is, That's why I said I'm driving. I'm like, well, once I get there, it's gonna be beautiful. It's cold, right?
It's faster.
I'm actually hitting some vegetation, but I'm getting kind of
You are.
snagged up.
But that only dives 3 feet deep or so, so it levels out, you know. That's why it's really a nice bait to throw over here.
Come on, fishy.
Come on, fishies. Yep. Nope.
You have one?
That was just salad.
Oh. Salmon. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Mom.
Oh, you're welcome, my friend.
So nice.
That's
so
what,
peaceful, man.
you know, that's what I love about it.
So great.
It's therapy. It really is.
Where is everybody else? All back in school?
Yeah, it's 9/11, so it's like,
That's
it's a
true.
very depressing day.
Isn't it your birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
It's my birthday. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Michael.
It's
As
my
you say
birthday.
that. What a
Yep.
depressing day. Happy birthday.
It's a depressing day. You know, it's funny. My mom, when we were growing up, Mom celebrated my birthday on the 21st. And so as a teenager, I looked at my birth certificate and go, Ma.
Yeah.
I go, my birthday's on the 11th. She goes, you're lucky you had a birthday. And I go, yeah, you got a point there, Mom.
Why did you celebrate it 10 days later?
Well, she forgot.
Oh,
She forgot what day I was born.
Oh, one time or all the time?
She just forgot. I don't know.
Oh, was that